Hello, my name is Tyler Leclerc, and this is my Level 3 presentation on how a type of technology can improve others' learning for the Edit 6150 class. The type of technology that I chose was Media Specialist Blogging, and it is a Web 2.0 in the Web 2.0 category. So one thing you might be asking yourself is, what exactly is blogging? What started out as individuals, or what they call themselves, diarists, was a way to share personal experiences with other people. The authors of the blogs were only able to complete one-way communication, meaning they could only share their thoughts with their users, and there was no way for their users to provide feedback to them in the form of comments and other types of communication back and forth. What soon transformed into a discussion board with a more of a thread form of communication, where there would be one comment and then below it there would be other comments that were connected to the original post. And as technology has improved, the blogging has since flourished into a massive Web 2.0 communication device where the authors actually discuss the items related to a particular focus. So there's more of a focus on the author's postings, where, for example, a media specialist will focus in on the media center activities, book reviews, media center practices, and other events that are happening within the media center. Or someone could maybe focus on a type of political format, or sports format, or other things like that. The authors have a specific focus so they can attract a certain type of user. So the users are drawn to blogs because they can effectively communicate back and forth as many times as they wish, or in a type of communication that's called two-way communication. So the author posts their thoughts and their post, and users read it, think about it, and respond by posting comments or sharing it through other social medias like Twitter, Facebook, and things like that. And the author can actually then respond back to the user's responses. So here is an example that shows one of the types of functionality of blogging and how a media specialist can use it. This here is an article posted by a media specialist on using ebooks and digital media with young children. The author is M.A. Schuer from the blog Great Kid Books. And it's like the title suggests, it's a short article about how to best use ebooks and other types of digital medias, as far as laptops, iPads, and other smaller electronic devices in the classroom. And one thing that I really liked was she provides her thoughts, and at the end it says, "I'd love to hear your thoughts on this emerging field. What engages your kids? What do you look for when you choose digital media for your children?" So she is actually asking and encouraging her readers to think about and respond to provide that two-way communication. So I thought that's definitely one thing that you can use in your blogging to help build that dialogue back and forth. And here, this is the functionality of blogging continued. Here are 3 comments that were in response to that original article on the how to use technology in the classroom. The first comment, and this shows the increased collaboration that can be brought out through blogging. So the first comment was a parent posting her thoughts And she talks about her son who loves technology and uses it at home and at school. And she brings up a story that they were reading at school, and how that he was able to increase his communication based on the use of technology. And the second post is from a fellow teacher who shared her thoughts, and then there was a response from the author, the original media specialist, who responded to the teacher's thoughts. So, like it says, blogs are a great way to increase collaboration and connections between home and school and teachers within the building, and within teachers between other schools. So how would I be able to apply this practice to when I'm a media specialist? And according to Elena Aguilar, there are 10 best practices that increase the love of reading within our students. And I know I can utilize the ones that are listed below through blogging when I become a media specialist. So number 1, read to ourselves. I can share what I'm reading. 2, I can share my reading experiences, my thoughts, what books I'm currently reading, what books I'm thinking about reading, book lists of books that I'm currently interested in. So number 3, I can invite students to socialize around reading. So I could post a book review, and I could ask students to respond and provide what they thought from the book, or what interests them about the book and would make them want to read it. Number 4, I could organize a readathon and then post about it and get the word out about that readathon through the blog, and it would be a way to have that homeschool connection, to build the homeschool connection. Number 5, I could take a field trip, a virtual field trip. If I read a book that is set in a particular area, I can take that virtual field trip and build those connections with my readers, and they can provide feedback to me. Number 6, I can post audiobooks that are found on YouTube and other technological websites. I can invite authors to speak, or post author interviews that are found on YouTube and other video sharing websites. And number 8, which is one thing that I would really love, is I can actually invite students to become authors and to share their written book reviews, or graphic novels, if they were to write a artistic comic version of a book that they've read, to provide an overview of what happens throughout the book. And they can also share book posters or book video or short videos about books that they've read, to build interest and to share with other readers, to encourage that they also read those books. So when it comes to the 4 C's, I think the biggest, the one that it hits the most is, once again, just the collaboration aspect. According to a Gokal, I hope I said that correctly, from the Collaborative Learning Enhances Critical Thinking article from the Journal of Technology Education journal, the quote is, "The collaborative learning medium provides students with opportunities to analyze, synthesize, and evaluate ideas cooperatively. The informal setting facilitates discussion and interaction. The group interaction helps students to learn from each other's scholarship, skills, and experiences." And I think that greatly applies to blogging, because like it says, it's an informal way for students to share their thoughts, collaborate, and communicate with other students, effectively collaborate and communicate with other teachers, and effectively collaborate with parents as well. And it also teaches students the appropriate ways to communicate through the internet. So they learn those internet use safety skills. And there's also another quote from Vygotsky from an article titled "Mind and Society: The Development of Higher Psychological Processes." And Vygotsky says, students are capable of performing at higher intellectual levels when asked to work in collaborative situations than when asked to work individually. Group diversity, in terms of knowledge and experience, contributes positively to the learning process. So any person that reads a media specialist blog and shares their thoughts is encouraging intellectual thinking in the other users that read and respond to their thoughts. Here's an example of a real-life example of collaboration, again from the Great Kid Books blog. And this is students sharing connections through book reviews. So this is a real post from a book called Nurse, Soldier, Spy, the story of Sarah Edmonds, a Civil War hero. And this is a book review. It has pictures and it has links to other websites to learn more about this book. And these are some fictional student responses to this article. However, these type of posts could absolutely happen if I were to be a media specialist blogger. So the first post is from a fictional student, but provides a real-life example of something that could happen. So it said the first student posted thoughts on how the images gave her a better image of the war while she was reading. It says, while I was reading this book, I realized that most of the books on the Civil War are all chapter books. The images within the book allowed me to get a better picture of what the soldiers fought through during the Civil War. It is really fun reading about a female hero as well. Very interesting and inspiring. So in the book, it is a female character that dresses up as a male so she can help with the war efforts. And then so the second student here read the first comment, read the original blog post, and responded sharing that student's thoughts. And this student has also made connections to other books by saying, yeah, it was like I could close my eyes and hear the sounds of stomping feet, men yelling loud, and gunshots ringing in my ears. It must have been so scary. It is a good thing she was so brave. This book really reminded me of two other books I have read in the past. My teacher read aloud the book, Numbering All the Bones. It is a story of what happened to a young black girl after the Civil War was over. Also, this story really reminds me of the story of Mulan. I learned about her through the movie, but I also read a book about her called Fa Mulan. It is another story of a girl dressing up as a man so she could fight to protect China. So these students made connections to past Civil War books that they've heard or read about, and then they've also made connections to other books where the similar things happen to the main characters. So the 4 C's of blogging. Communication. In order to blog and respond to blog posts, you have to be able to communicate effectively and with other people. You have to be able to communicate your thoughts, which leads in, you have to be a critical thinker in order to read something and then respond to it by providing your thoughts. You have to be able to collaborate with other readers, with the original blogger, by sharing your thoughts and interacting back and forth, and again being a critical thinker of what the author says and being a critical thinker in how you write your response. And you have to be creative in order to read another author's work and respond to it by sharing your thoughts. And it says, a bonus benefit of blogging, the students learn and practice appropriate ways to communicate and interact while online. With the ever-expanding internet use of children, it is vital that they learn how to interact in appropriate ways while social networking. These students are constantly bombarded with new social networking sites that encourage ever-expanding and increasing communication between them and other people. And they don't have appropriate internet skills, they will struggle. And that is my presentation. I thank you for taking the time to listen.